Hello guys, welcome back to Fastlearn series about IELTS writing. My name is Xuân Minh Nguyen. Today I'm going to show you some of the tools that can help you to check your vocabulary, identify which words that you should learn, and also correct your own essays without dependence on your teachers and native speakers. Now I'm going to show you a quick look at the tools that we'll cover today. The first one is LexTutor. The second is Corpus, that's Contemporary American English. The third one is speech to text, and the fourth one is Grammarly, and finally is a text comparison in Microsoft Word. Now let's delve deep into each tool one after another, okay? Now we come to the first tool. This is lextutor.ca. You go to the web browser and type in lextutor.ca, and you go to this website. It looks like this. I highly recommend you to use this website to check the vocabulary because it's based on very famous works of Paul Nations, a world-renowned professor in the aspect of vocabulary learning in New Zealand. So there are a lot of functions in this website, but I want you to focus on just two things. The first is testing your vocabulary size is in the final columns on your right-hand side. And also after that you will come to list lunch, which lists the vocabulary that you need to cover in your vocabulary improvement. Okay, we'll go to the test first. There are a lot of options for you to choose. However, I recommend you to choose the size tests over here from 1 to 14,000 words that are the most frequently met in English. You click on it. And you see here there will be first 1,000, and in the first 1,000 you have 10 representative questions, multiple choice questions, and to the 14,000 you have another 10. It's like that. So totally you have to do 14 levels and to answer 140 multiple choice questions. And after you've done it, you can click score right here on the top left hand corner. For example, I choose which star I choose looked at, and number 2 time I choose food. For example, I intentionally make it a mistake. So this for you to test it out what it will appear. And after that I'll click score. You see I had only one correct answer, and this is my vocab size. For the other thousands, because I didn't answer any questions, so it's up here, so all non-correct answers. And my vocab size is 100 words, equivalent to one correct answer, and I need to work at the first 1,000 words. This is an advice from LexTutor on which vocabulary you should work on. So after we're done with the test, we'll come back to the list of vocabulary that you need to work on. For list learn, I'll write over here. I click into it, and there are different options too, but I want to choose the greatest resource that I want to improve my vocabulary in, that contains 25,000 words. It's a combination between the British National Corpus and the Corpus of Contemporary American English. So I click into it. And you see on my left hand side there is a tab that has choose K lists. I'm gonna click into it, and there is a drop down showing me the base words that I need to learn. And I was suggested to work on the first 1,000 words, so I'm gonna click into base word 1, and there's a list of words appearing to me. So I'm gonna copy all of this and put it into a Microsoft Word page, and then I can choose which words I know and which words I haven't known, and I use some of the e-dictionaries to help me learn the words systematically. It's just a dictionary check for these words, you know. And that's all for LexTutor. It helps you to test the vocabulary and helps you to suggest which words you should work with to build your foundation of vocabulary. You do not just cut on the top of the trees only, just learning some things that's less common vocabulary in the 8, 9, 10,000 words, but you ignore maybe number K3, 4, 5, So in order to have a better foundation for your vocabulary, you should work from the bottom up. And using the list learned, I can suggest you what word that you need to learn to build your foundation in lexical resource. Now we come to the second tool, which is Corpus of Contemporary American English. Okay, now you need to go to Google search and type in corpus. By the way, what does corpus mean? Corpus is a collection of millions of texts written and spoken by the native speakers of that language. So here I have gone to a Corpus of Contemporary American English. Click into it, and here it appears. In order to use this, you sometimes need to sign up for the site, and I'm not logged in here. If you are not logged in, the maximum times that you are allowed to do the search in this database is 10 times. If you are logged in, the maximum times is 50 times per day, unless you have to pay. Okay, so what is this for? This is for you to check whether or not you use a word correctly, especially in terms of collocations. So for example, I have a text here. I've just written a sentence which I think is good because I try to use less common vocabulary over here, but I'm not sure that is correctly used or not. So the sentence is believed that the climate change is largely attributed to human-caused geoengineering rather than natural itself. I intentionally made some mistakes in the sentence so that I can test it out using the tools to correct the sentence for you to see. So don't care about the grammar now yet, but I would like to check whether or not we have these combinations, we have these collocations in English. But I would like to check geoengineering first for the meaning. I just know that geoengineering is some activities that people interfere into the nature to fight back global climate change. I'm gonna check it with Google. So go to meaning. Okay. And it shows me that it's the deliberate large-scale manipulation of an environmental process that affects the Earth's climate in an attempt to counteract the effect of global warming. So after reading this, I have the feeling that the word itself contains or encases the meaning of man-made, or it has the feature of human actions in it already. Therefore, human-caused engineering, geoengineering, may be not correct, but I'm not very sure. I'm gonna check it in Corpus to see if there is any existence of this collocation or not. I go back to Corpus and I paste it here into the search and find match strings. Okay, see, frequency after 10 or 15 queries you are asked to register. I think now I got the login. I got a login now. Password. I hope that's the correct password. Okay, it is. So I'm calling it to find matching strings. It's error. It shows me the error. It means that there is no such combination in English for human-caused geoengineering. Now let me delete this word and see how geoengineering appear. Okay, here it is. Its frequency is 249 times, found in 500 million words in this corpus. I'm going to click into it to see how it appears in the context. You see frequency, context, counts. So we check on the context, see how they are used in the sentence. In front of it, there is no adjective. Okay, so it's used as a standalone word here. A standalone word here too, here too, here too. Food geoengineering. Okay, it has a compound noun here, but not really something like human made or human caused can be found. And yeah, to the end of it, I haven't found any combinations of human caused geoengineering or anything that has a similar meaning to it. So my conclusion is that the word has the meaning of human cause in it already. So we don't need to use human cause anymore for my phrase. I'm gonna delete it. Okay, let me do it in another uh, file. Okay, this considers my corrected version, so I'm gonna delete this. But after that, I'm not sure that this sentence is correct or not. It's believed that the climate change is largely attributed to geoengineering rather than natural itself. In terms of meaning, geoengineering seems to be something that we do to just fight against global warming or climate change, right? Okay, we have geoengineering here is really a good solution to fighting climate change. So, by geoengineering, it means that we are doing good things to cut the carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. I've read to some of the examples here and find that meaning too. So, come back to our sentence. In terms of meaning, it's completely wrong here. Yes, it's a fancy word, but it's not suitable for this sentence because it's something that we do good for the environment, not something that we cause climate change with this. Climate change is something negative. We are fighting against climate change with geoengineering. So geoengineering is not the cause of climate change. So we're gonna delete it altogether. Can attribute to human activities. Yeah, to be on the safe side. It's not really great in terms of vocabulary, but it's right. Human activities. Okay, now after checking the meaning and collocation already, I failed to bring the new terms into my writing, but I make sure that it's correct. Now we're going to check the grammar of this sentence. I'm gonna go to Grammarly. If I have this text written on a paper, then I need to have it computerized. So I need to do it very quickly rather than typing every word you write. Now, if I have so there is a tool to help you just do this process very quickly. When we come to the third tool that can help you to do so is speech to text. So you just go to Google and search for speech to text, and I recommend you to use Voice Notepad. So you're gonna click into it. It is believed that the climate change is largely attributed to human activities rather than natural itself. See? It's on here, then you copy this. And you need to check it with grammar, so you go to Grammarly. Make sure that in Grammarly you gotta register for the account too. You paste your text here. The registration may take you a while, but it's a worthwhile website for you to register for. I'm gonna paste in here and see. it suggests that the climate is strong. So I'm gonna click into this red box to omit the one word is corrected. The second word is natural. It has not been corrected. Sometimes it will correct this word, and sometimes it does not. So that's why we have to go to premium to have all of the mistakes corrected. And we're using something free, so we gotta accept that there should be some of the mistakes not corrected. I'm gonna change the sentence into this. I'm gonna leave this uncorrected. Like I myself do not know this is a mistake. It should be nature rather than natural. That's why you gotta go to premium to have full corrections of your sentences. So this is the sentence after all of the tools help me to correct. It is believed that climate change is largely attributed to human activities rather than natural itself. However, in order to learn things, you need to know your mistakes. But in this new text, I just forget what I've done in order to come to this sentence. So I'm going to keep it as a record by going to the comparison in review over here. You click on review and compare. Review, compare. I want to compare text number 1 with text number 2. And this is the result. This is original text, and this is the final version of the edition. You see, we cross out human caused engineering. We just retain human, and we add activities in. We omit the. So I want to keep this as a record of the comparison between 1 and 2 for me to just remember what mistakes I have made. Yeah, we can learn only from our mistakes. So that's why I want to keep my mistakes recorded. Okay, so done with it. That's it. That's all the tools that I have introduced to you today. I'm gonna have a quick recap of it for you to just help you to remember what we have done. At first, we use LexTutor.ca. The second one is Corpus of Contemporary American English. The next we use, you gotta make sure that your pronunciation is correct and clear enough for all of the text to be recognized. And next is Grammarly. And finally, you use the comparison functions in your Microsoft Word. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you find the video helpful for you. Bye bye.